What's the difference? What is the difference? Do you know? Do you know? You're about to find out. Yeah, guys, Belfast boxing and blues and boxing. Whatever you like, whatever you like. Yeah, usual protocol. I'm gonna smoke a cigarette, talk some smack for a few minutes, and then we're gonna get down to some playing. And as the title suggests, this video is about slipping time and sort of manipulating time and playing out of meter on a blues, and taking traditional little blues licks that we all know and can play quite easily, and taking them from out of being a very straight thing to being able just to manipulate them slightly and just slip time to give them a whole lot more character and can open up a lot of things for us in our playing. I think this is something that most blues guitar players, we all do this. This is something that just happens. But it's good to examine it in a bit more detail and try to understand how it happens, when it does, and if there's something we can do, prepare a nice environment so that it will occur more often and more happily. I suppose in jazz they call it, you play on the beat, you play behind the beat, you play after the beat, all of this type of thing. I'm not really schooled in that, so I don't, I don't know what any of that means. Of course, I can have a fair guess, but I don't really. I don't know what a lot of anything means, Like I was talking some stuff about Charlie Christian yesterday and telling all these stories, and you could probably fact check on those stories, and a lot of the details would be incorrect, but if you're on a roll and you're telling a story, man, sometimes you just have to make it up, don't you? But yeah, what we'll do is stick on a wee backing track, and we'll play some licks straight, and then we'll try a few different approaches time wise, and see what we can do. The cigarette sort of necessitates a few minutes talk. Well, we'll try and do both at the same time here. So we're going to do a track in the key of E. So key of E, that basic lick, that we build a lot of our stuff off that, don't we? All of those repeating licks and rock and blues, all of that type of stuff. Pentatonic blues lick stuff built off that, your main bend, you know what I mean? From the fourth up to the fifth. And the amount of different things we can do with that, Halfway. A nice long but slow one. Fast wide vibrato. Shorter, less wide vibrato. And then of course we have there on the 10th fret, you've got your third, you've got your minor third, so you can bend that so many different ways, so many different things you can do with that. It's really kind of unlimited, and again, it's one of these things that you get an intuitive understanding for, but sometimes you want to bend sort of right up to a major third. Sometimes you just want to do that. Something like that. Hammer on, but bend it upwards, bend it downwards, whatever works for you. So let's stick on the backing track and see if I can live up to the title of this lesson. Hopefully it's not a disaster. Let's see. Okay. Alright. So we go. sort of stretching it out. Here you go. You know, short, sharp, more staccato on the beat. Playing sort of off the beat there, floating, more of a floaty thing. Float, go. And we get this little move here. Minor third to major third, fifth, sixth, right? Don't know if any of you've ever seen the. It was like John Mayer's coming out party when he played. I think for the first time he played at the Crossroads Festival. Eric Clapton's benefit thing, and he comes out and he goes into this solo and he hits one of those licks. It's like one of those Hendrix lifts. It's like, or something to that effect. But he gets in that zone. He slips time, and it's just like, it's like, oh, how did you do that? It's a strange one. It's a strange one. I don't know if I demonstrated it, you know, with any real accuracy there, but let's try it again. Let's say like on a slow blues, right? If we were, let's make it a key of B, right? B minor. There you go. Yeah, I don't know if that makes any sense, right? There you go. Heavy-handed, you know, direct type of style. A lot of people play in that style, I suppose. Eric Gales, Joe Bonamassa, even Don Martin would play that. Bit right up, great vibrato, very accurate, a lot of strength, directly on the beat. Stuff, very strong, heavy picking. I used to play like that quite often, and then I ruined my arm, so I go for the softer approach now. But even back then when I played hard like that, I also did that time slip thing. So it's like, let's say a lick just like this, right? Right, so let's say that the basis of it is, right, you can go, the basis of your lick there, but every time you do it, you just think a little bit differently about it, and it just extends your vocabulary that much. You know, you might be playing the same notes, but you just shift it a little bit each time. You know, and it takes your playing from, if you're a guy that likes to work off scales, if it's jazz and stuff, or no matter what it is, and you have set licks, and this is what I do. If you start to figure out a way to sort of tastefully express yourself with each lick, and leave every lick open for interpretation and extension, it's like, it just deepens your improvisational ability, you know. Like I say, this like, you hear it played like that. There it goes, another way to do it. You know, it really is unlimited. like I say, when you hear the track, you want to play to the track. But I don't know, it's something to think about, you know what I mean? Extending your musicality somewhat so that even on something like this, you know, different things, muting, timing, accents, little things like that. Especially if you're just starting out. I mean, I know whenever I started out, I was just playing up and down pentatonic patterns, trying to develop my picking, you know, my alternate picking until that become like an automatic thing. You know, you're doing it for 2 or 3 weeks in your bedroom, and then suddenly you realise you're going, you're shredding it. You're going, yes, yes, I'm getting there. I'm getting it. You know, so if you're working just off scales and stuff, and you haven't even got to the point of really working in your bends and vibrato and phrasing and things like that, then you know, it's just about listening, man. It's just about listening. You know, but like I don't want to sound patronising at all while doing this, because who am I really to tell anybody how to play guitar? Listen, I think it's something that there are things, me included, there's little ideas and things that we can do to just extend our playing, rather than going, oh well, I learned a new skill or I learned a new mode. It's like, no, I'm still working off the blues scale, motherfucker. But I did pick up an idea from listening to that John Coltrane record that I can maybe approach it with a whole different sort of level of you know, touch. I'm trying to learn that at the minute in a Sentimental Mood by Duke Ellington. It's really beautiful. If you listen to the one he done with the version of that with John Coltrane, it's like from a whisper to a roar. You know, that's the thing with a horn. You can go from, you know, the loudest, hardest, ranciest, growling sound, right down to and you do it tastefully. It's like you can fucking do a lot of stuff. There's a lot of scope there for beauty. And you know, I know like being a blues musician, having played in blues bands and stuff down the years, a lot of times it's like, and it's that same dynamic the whole time. It's hard to get the thing to quiet down. Whereas the cool thing about jazz, you know, it's like you know, and that's the kind of blues that I always like. You know, the old school stuff where the backing is jazz. You know, there's a jazz element to what's going on. It just means you can play soft, and it's real meaningful. Rather than if you are stuck on a, it's like you have to always play at 100. You know. You know what I mean? It's like sometimes it's nice just to go. So yeah, I'm gonna attempt to do a video on that Duke Ellington song later, whenever I get myself together, baby. A couple of boxing videos to do as well today, a couple of predictions. I watched like so much Zile Zhang and Joseph Parker last night. I got a sore head. I don't know if I can contribute anything, but I'm gonna make a quick prediction video. And I still have to watch some stuff on AJ, watch some footage from his last few fights, and watch the Fury and Downey fight, and try to come up with something there. You think about a lot of these predictions, you know, some people are really technically know what's going on, and they're very good. I try my hand at that stuff. I like to think I'm okay for somebody that isn't trained in it. But there's a lot of other people that just look at the fights, they look at the news surrounding it, and they think of all the crack, and they look at the stats, and I think that's equally as good. You know, you probably get just as much of a chance going that way. So, like I say, I went overboard studying for that one last night, so I'll just do a quick video, and I won't bother to study until my head hurts and I start to get sick of boxing with Joshua and Ganu fight. I'll make that simple. Yeah, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do a video, like I say, on in a sentimental mood. Um, there was one other thing, just that I wanted to mention. Like I don't know how much these videos will get watched, but I mean, basically, you know, the idea with them is just well, part of the idea is sort of with any of the videos that I do music wise is just sort of hand down sort of any kind of tips and advice that I can give, like, you know what I mean. To sort of younger musicians and stuff coming through. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It can be the older guys as well, especially if it's techniques and things like that, and more musical stuff. But just in terms of like young guys coming through as young musicians, it can be tricky, like, and especially depending on your situation, on your home life, and you know, if you don't have that infrastructure of, like, you know, being backed kind of promotionally and commercially, and having a good network of people around you and stuff like that, and having a good family, you know. When I was younger, like, I'm not making this a pity party whatsoever, but when I was younger, I didn't really have any of that, you know, and I think I could have benefited greatly from it. And I could have benefited greatly from having taken some of the advice that was available. Unfortunately, I was a hard-headed little kid, you know, so I didn't really take it, you know. I wish I had it done. So that's kind of some of the idea behind these videos, you know. But yeah, at the same time, it's a good learning thing for me. But I mean, sort of following from that, like, there's something that I've noticed in there are a lot of, like, guitar players, I mean musicians, right? But obviously me being a guitar player, and you know, everybody plays guitar, you know. There's probably, and maybe some of the people that do watch this are the type of guys that have great time. They have an internal metronome thing going on. They know their way around chord changes. Basically, they have a nice gift with musicality, probably that they've had since they were a kid. And they knew it when they were a little kid. They were listening to the radio, they were picking up things and figuring things out in their mind. So when it come time to play a 12-bar blues, say, you know, they weren't going, oh, where am I? Oh, is it up here? No. You know, us that are lucky enough, we have an inbuilt thing, and we just know how a song's meant to be. We know how many beats is supposed to be in a bar. It's intuitive. It's just there for us, and we're very lucky to have that, and us that have good rhythm and things like that. But there are not loads and loads, I don't mean so many, but there are, like, guys who are phenomenal guitar players and have amazing ideas, amazing riffs and stuff. But when it comes to, say, writing a song, or it comes to playing over a blues, they get lost. They can't, you know, it just doesn't come naturally to them to know when the changes are. So either what they gotta do is count it, which then of course takes a lot of their attention. It takes a lot of their brain power to count it. So if they're playing in a band situation, they can't really ease into it and let themselves go. Or else there's got to be somebody else there who can sort of monitor the thing and say, like, there's your change there, there's your change there. And, you know, I think it's something that can be developed, you know, especially with a 12-bar blues. You know, it's such an important sequence to have that down in your mind, because it's the foundation of so many other things, you know, in both in rock music, you know, blues, rock, jazz, everything. You want to know what a 12-bar blues is like, you know. So if it's something that you have trouble with, then you are going to have to start counting, you know, get a backing track up where it has the chords or something like that, and just follow it along, you know. If it's in A, you go 1 chord, 4 chord, 5 chord, and you've got to turn around, you know, 12 bars, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, there's 4, right? Start of the 5th bar, we're on to the 4 chord, 2 bars of the 4 chord, another 2 bars of the 1 chord, so we're heading into the 9th, 11th bar, 2, 3, 4, 1 bar the 5 chord, 1 bar the 4 chord, 11th bar, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I mean, if you're somebody that has difficulty with that, you might be listening to that and going 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 chord, A chord, 5 chord. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you trying to do to my brain and my musicality here? I'm just gonna go play a fucking 17 bar blues. No. No. You have amazing talent. You have the ability to write great songs, but you're messing it up because you're finding it hard to get this time and rhythms thing down. You need to go work at that. You need to go spend the time because your talent is too great. Otherwise, it is a waste. If you want to be playing on a higher level, the level that your talent deserves, then you need to go and work that stuff out. Like I say, some of us are lucky that we have an inbuilt thing there. You know, you might think that's a little unfair, but it's not really. I mean, like, for me, I personally, I might have like an internal rhythm thing and some little musical gifts there, which is great, yeah. But I had to go and study really hard a lot of other things to get to a level that I wanted to hopefully be able to play at. You know, I had to study my ass off. You know what I mean? I still do every day. You know, and any musician that's worth their fucking stuff, they put that work in. You know. So it's like, if I see a guy like that, you know, well, I just want to grab them and shake them by the head. Ah, listen to me. Like, it's just like, you know, you already put this great work into your musicianship. You're a great lead player, man. You know, you're writing these songs, and Jesus Christ, they're 15 bar blues. What are you doing? But you've already done all that other work. Go and invest the time. Put in that painful, punishing time practicing something that you aren't good at, that's going to kill you, having to do that again and again. It's just like jail, but you have to go to musical jail. You have been sentenced to musical jail, and upon release you will be fully rehabilitated, and you know, you'll be fucking playing a 12 bar blues instead of a 27 bar blues, you know. I mean, it's just something to think about for anybody that's like has trouble with that, and they're a serious musician, you know, and have pretensions and aspirations of being a serious musician, and you gotta go and put in that time. This very same could be said of me, is like, why don't you go and learn some lyrics or a standard or something like that? And I am doing that, and it kills me, man. It kills me. But you can make it fun for yourself as well, and it's all about the payoff. It's all about the payoff. So I mean, that's sort of one specific thing I've looked at there, but you know what I mean. It could pertain to anything. Some little part that you're not so good at. You know, your bands aren't that great, or just something like that. You know. It's good to work at our musicality, you know. I believe it can be increased. It can be increased. Anyway, let's play a couple more minutes of this backing track, and then we'll leave it for today. Straight stuff. Oh man. Did all that preaching, now I'm playing like shit. Let's see if we might have this thing. Ouch. God damn. God damn. Like coming on here trying to trying to give a guitar lesson and then I play like that. Well, that really just invalidates everything that I said, doesn't it? Ah well, guys, you know, we have to accept our limitations, don't we? So I'm gonna go try and learn some Duke Ellington, some John Coltrane, some other stuff, and hopefully I can come back with a little video like that whenever I finally get the melody down. I've been trying, and once I get the melody down, then I can play around with it a little bit. I listened to the original Duke Ellington version with, you know, these old dudes playing on it, and I listened to the Sublime Ellington and Coltrane version, which is actually I had been going off Coltrane a bit because I just heard too much of it, especially the real heavy stuff. But this is, I didn't realise he could play so well on a ballad, like really achingly beautiful. So I'm gonna have to sort myself out and start respecting John Coltrane a bit more. Guys, have a lovely day, and I'll see you next time.